How are you guys doing? Today is Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review yesterday's Elite matchups and performances from Monday, April 11th, and of course, I'm going to preview everything that's happening today as we navigate through the world of sports one day at a time. Taking a quick step back and looking at where we are in the calendar year, the NBA season is officially over as the 10 teams that did not qualify for the playoffs have their seasons. Of course, they're done. They have the off season, and then they have a bunch going on until their next NBA game. However, the very first play-in games, the 7-8 matchups in the East and West are going on today, but I'll get into that in a second. In the MLB season is underway as teams are in their second series matchup of the year as they are going on for the next half year. And taking a look at what's going on with soccer, we are about to see the second leg of the quarterfinals come to its conclusion tomorrow. Right now, there are 8 teams competing there, and there will be 4 by the end of tomorrow, and there will be 6 by the end of today. With that said, and I'll also not to mention that alongside that, within the WNBA drafts that happened exactly yesterday, it looks as though the Atlanta Dream were able to get the very first pick of the draft. They were able to draft Ryan Howard out of Kentucky. And not to mention that we are coming off of Masters weekends. But taking a look following that, taking a look at what's going on with the NBA today because there was no NBA yesterday. The first game that's going to be taking place today on prime time on TNT will be the 7-8 matchup in the Eastern Conference for their first play-in game. As the Brooklyn Nets are going to host the Cleveland Cavaliers. They both enter the play-in round with the same record, but the tiebreaker will go to the Nets. So the Nets are going to host the Cavaliers at home. And the winner of this matchup will face off against the 2-seed Boston Celtics going into the playoffs. And it looks like that is who they're going to be facing off against at this very moment. But even taking a look at what is going on with the other 2-7 matchup, looking at the other 7-8 matchup, the 7-seed Minnesota Timberwolves are going to host the LA Clippers tonight at 9:30 in Target Center after the Timberwolves finish their season with 4 more wins than the Clippers. The Clippers finished the season with the longest winning streak in the NBA, tied with the Warriors with a 5-game winning streak. They would go on to win 6 of their last 10. The winner of this matchup will face off against the 2-seed Memphis Grizzlies in the first round of the playoffs. But that is what this side of the bracket is looking like. No teams will be eliminated today. The losers of these matchups will face off against the winner of the 9-10 matchups that are going to be taking place tomorrow within these conferences. And tomorrow we're going to start to see teams be eliminated from the NBA playoff play-in picture. So with that said, taking a look at what's going on with the MLB, starting off in Kansas City, the Kansas City Royals would host the Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians would end up beating the Kansas City beating the Kansas City Royals 10-7. This came after they would score 6 of their 10 runs in the last 3 innings. The score was tied at 4 going into those final 3 innings as Cleveland would pull away. On the losing end of this matchup, the hometown Kansas City Royals were led out by their starting pitcher, Carlos Hernandez. Hernandez would allow 4 earned runs off of 6 hits in 6 innings pitched. In addition to that, he would go on to walk 2 batters and strike out 1. Of course, for Kansas City, the loss would end up going to one of their relief pitchers on the night. Taking a look at who the loss was given to for Kansas City, particularly, the loss was given to their third relief pitcher, Jake Brentz. Brentz would allow 2 earned runs off of 1 hit as he pitched .2 innings. He would get pulled in the 6th inning, and with his loss, he's 0-1. He got pulled in the 7th inning. And in the Royals batting lineup, their right fielder elite right fielder Whit Merrifield went 2 for 5 with an RBI. Their left fielder Andrew Benintendi will go 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs, as Benintendi hit his first home run of the year. Their elite catcher Salvador Perez would go 2 for 4 with an RBI. On the winning end of this matchup, the Cleveland Guardians were led out by their starting pitcher Aaron Savali. He would allow 4 runs off of 4 hits in 3.1 innings pitched. He would walk 3 and strike out 3 batters on the day. The win for the Cleveland Guardians was given to Logan Allen. Their second relief pitcher would go on to pitch the 5th and 6th innings. He would allow no earned runs and only 1 hit in this 2-inning span, as he would strike out a batter. With this win, Logan Allen is 1-0 on the season. In the Guardians batting lineup, their designated hitter, Franmil Reyes, would go 2 for 5 with an RBI. Their shortstop, Ahmed Rosario, would go 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. Their first baseman, Owen Miller, would go 3 for 5 with 2 runs. With this win, the Cleveland Guardians and the Kansas City Royals are both 2-2. They are sitting alongside the Detroit Tigers and the Minnesota Twins, as all 4 of these teams sit half a game behind the division-leading, defending AL Central champs, Chicago White Sox. Taking a look at what happened in Baltimore, the Baltimore Orioles hosted the Milwaukee Brewers. The Orioles would beat the Brewers 2-0. They would win the shutout game off. The only scoring play happened in the bottom of the second. It was a 2-run single from Cedric Mullins. On the losing end of this matchup, the Milwaukee Brewers were led out by their starting pitcher Adrian Hauser. Hauser allowed 2 earned runs off of 4 hits in 3.2 innings. He would walk 3 batters and strike out 3 batters before getting pulled in the 4th inning. With this loss, Adrian Hauser is 0-1. No one in the Brewers lineup would finish with more than 1 hit, as that would be attributed to great pitching from Baltimore. The Orioles were led out by their starting pitcher, Bruce Zimmerman. Zimmerman allowed no earned runs off of 3 hits in 4 innings. He would walk 2 batters and strike out 4. However, the win was attributed to Baltimore's first relief pitcher, Mike Baumann. Baumann allowed no earned runs off of 1 hit in 2.1 innings pitched. He would walk a batter and strike out 3 before getting pulled in the 7th. With this win, he's 1-0. The save for the Orioles went to Jorge Lopez. Lopez allowed no earned runs in the 9th, as he would walk a batter and then strike 1 out. With his save, this is his first of the year. In the Orioles batting lineup, their right fielder, Anthony Santander, went 2 for 2 with 2 walks. He was the only player on the team with more than 1 hit. And with this win, the Baltimore Orioles are now 1-3. That is tied with the Boston Red Sox for the worst record in the American League East. They are trailing the Tampa Bay Rays and Toronto Blue Jays by 2 games in the division. With this loss, the Milwaukee Brewers are also 1-3. That is the worst record in the National League Central. They are sitting a game and a half behind the Chicago Cubs and St. Louis Cardinals, sitting on top of the division. Taking a look at what happened in Dallas, the Texas Rangers would host the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies ended up beating the Rangers 6-4 in extra innings. Going into the 9th inning, the score would be tied at 3 after the Rockies had to come back. They would take the 4-3 lead in the top of the 9th thanks to a solo home run from C.J. Cron. Colorado would then tie it off of a Willie Calhoun home run, and then a Jose Iglesias single and a Connor Joe home run in the top of the 10th would give the Rockies what they needed to win. On the losing end of this matchup, the hometown Texas Rangers were led by their starting pitcher Taylor Hearn. Hearn would allow 1 earned run off of 8 hits in 4 innings. He would walk a batter and then strike out 6 on the day. The loss would go to the Rangers closer, Greg Holland. Holland allowed 2 runs in the 10th inning as he would strike out a batter. With his loss, he's 0-1. In the Rangers batting lineup, their center fielder, Adolis Garcia, went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run. He was the only player on the team with more than 1 hit. On the winning end of this matchup, the Colorado Rockies would be led out by their starting pitcher, Austin Gomber. Gomber allowed 3 earned runs off of 4 hits as he pitched 4.2 innings. He would walk 2 batters and strike out 4 before getting pulled in the 5th inning. The win was given to the Rockies setup relief pitcher, Daniel Bard. He allowed 1 earned run off of 1 hit in the 9th inning as he struck out a batter. He would blow his first save of the year, but with his win, he's 1-0. The save for the Rockies was given to their closer for the day, Ashton Goudeau. Goudeau would allow no earned runs in the 10th inning as he struck out a batter. This would be his first save of the year. In the Rockies batting lineup, their designated hitter, Connor Joe, went 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run as he hit his second home run of the season. Their elite left fielder, Chris Bryant, went 2 for 5 with 2 runs. Their Their first baseman, C.J. Cron, went 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run as he hit his second home run of the season to give the Rockies a short lead. And then their catcher, Elias Diaz, went 2 for 4. Not to mention that their shortstop, Jose Iglesias, would end up going 4 for 5 with an RBI and a run. With this win, the Colorado Rockies are 3-1. That is the second best record in the National League West. They are sitting half a game behind the division-leading San Diego Padres at the moment. With this loss, the Texas Rangers are 1-3. That is the worst record in the American League West. At the moment, they are sitting 2 games behind the division-leading Houston Astros, who are also the defending American League champs. Taking a look at what happened in Detroit, the Tigers would host the Boston Red Sox. The Tigers would end up beating the Red Sox 3-1. The score was tied at 1 until the bottom of the 8th. Javier Baez's 2-run home run would give the Tigers their second win of the season. On the losing end of this matchup, the Boston Red Sox were led out by their starting pitcher, Michael Wacha. Wacha allowed 1 earned run off of 2 hits in 4.1 innings. He would walk 3 batters and strike out 4 before getting pulled in the 5th inning. The Red Sox third relief pitcher on the day, Austin Davis, would allow 1 earned run off of 2 hits as he pitched the entire 7th inning. He would strike out a batter, and with this loss, he's 0-1. In the Red Sox batting lineup, their elite third baseman, Rafael Devers, went 2 for 4. Their elite designated hitter, J.D. Martinez, went 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run. And he would go on to hit his very first home run of the season. On the winning end of this matchup, the Detroit Tigers, the home team, were led by their starting pitcher, Matt Manning. He would allow 1 earned run off of 1 hit in the 6 innings that he pitched. He would strike out 2 batters. However, the win would go to the Tigers setup relief pitcher, Michael Fulmer. Their former American League Rookie of the Year would allow no earned runs and 1 hit in the 8th inning as he struck out a batter. With this win, Michael Fulmer is 1-0. The save would go to their former All-Star, Gregory Soto, who allowed no earned runs and 1 hit in the 9th inning. This was Soto's first save of the year. In the Tigers batting lineup, their left fielder, Austin Meadows, went 2 for 4 with 2 runs. Their elite shortstop, Javier Baez, went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run as he hit his first home run of the year. Their future Hall of Fame designated hitter, Miguel Cabrera, will go 2 for 3 with an RBI. With this win, the Detroit Tigers are 2-2. They are tied with the Cleveland Guardians, the Kansas City Royals, and the Minnesota Twins for the second best and the worst record in the AL Central at the same time. They all sit half a game behind the division-leading Chicago White Sox, who won the division last year. With this loss, the Boston Red Sox are 1-3. They are tied with the Baltimore Orioles for the worst record in the American League East. They both sit 2 games behind the division-leading Tampa Bay Rays and Toronto Blue Jays. Taking a look at what happened in Tampa, the Tampa Bay Rays would host the Athletics. The Athletics would beat the Rays 13-2 after scoring 8 runs in the first couple innings and even 4 in the 9th inning by itself, to give the Rays their very first loss of the year. On the losing end of this matchup, the hometown Rays were led out by their starting pitcher, Luis Patino. Patino picked up his first loss of the season. He allowed 1 earned run and 1 hit as he was pulled in the very first inning. With this loss, he's 0-1. In the Rays batting lineup, their elite shortstop, Wander Franco, went 3 for 4 with 2 runs. Their first baseman, Ji-Man Choi, went 2 for 4 with an RBI. On the winning end of this matchup, the Oakland Athletics were led out by their starting pitcher, Paul Blackburn. Blackburn would allow no earned runs off of 3 hits as he pitched 5 innings. He would walk a batter and strike out 7. With this win, he's 1-0. In the Athletics batting lineup, their second baseman, Tony Kemp, went 2 for 5 with a run. Their shortstop, Elvis Andrus, would go 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs as he would go on to hit his first home run of the season. Their left fielder, Chad Pinder, would go 2 for 5 with an RBI and 2 runs as Pinder hit his second home run of the season. Oakland's third baseman, Sheldon Neuse, would go 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs as he hit his first home run of the season as well. With this win, the Oakland Athletics are 2-2. They are tied with the Seattle Mariners for the second best record in the American League West as they trail the defending AL West champs Houston Astros by a game at the moment. With this loss, the Tampa Bay Rays are now 3-1. They are tied with the Toronto Blue Jays for the best record in the American League East. They both sit 1 game ahead of the third place New York Yankees. Taking a look now at what happened in Philadelphia, the Phillies would host the New York Mets. The Phillies would beat the Mets 5-4 after scoring all 5 of their runs in the 8th inning. They would tie it off of a double from Rhys Hoskins, and then they would take the lead off of a double from Didi Gregorius. On the losing end of this matchup, the New York Mets were led out by their starting pitcher, Taijuan Walker. He allowed no earned runs and no hits as he struck out 4 in the first 2 innings of the game. The loss was given to the Mets closer, Seth Lugo. Lugo would allow 2 earned runs and 2 hits as he would go on to finish the 8th inning. He would strike out a batter and walk 1 as well. This would be his first blown save of the season, and with this loss, he's 0-1. In the Mets batting lineup, their center fielder, Brandon Nimmo, went 2 for 4 with a run. He was the only player on the team with more than 1 hit. On the winning end of this matchup, the hometown Philadelphia Phillies were led out by their starting pitcher, Ranger Suarez. Suarez would allow 3 earned runs off of 5 hits in 2.2 innings pitched. He would walk a batter and strike a batter out before getting pulled in the 3rd inning. The win for the Phillies would go to their setup relief pitchers, their Ser Anthony Dominguez. He would go on to allow no earned runs and only 1 hit as he finished off the 7th and pitched the entire 8th. He would walk and strike out a batter, and picking up this win, he's now 1-0 on the year. The save for the Phillies went to Brad Hand. Hand allowed no earned runs in the 9th inning as he struck out 2. That would be his first save of the year. In the Phillies batting lineup, their shortstop, Didi Gregorius, went 2 for 4 with an RBI. He was the only player on the team with more than 1 hit. With this win, the Philadelphia Phillies are 3-1. That is the best record in the National League East. They are sitting half a game ahead of the second-place New York Mets at the moment. With this loss, the New York Mets are 3-2. That is the second-best record in the division as they sit half a game behind the Philadelphia Phillies. They are the top 2 teams in the division right now. Taking a look at what's happening in the American League East, the New York Yankees would host the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays would end up beating the Yankees 3-0. They would end up seeing their runs. They would see all of their both their scoring plays come at the hands of George Springer, a home run in the 3rd and a RBI double in the 7th. On the losing end of this matchup, the hometown New York Yankees were led out by their starting pitcher, Jameson Taillon. He allowed 3 earned runs off of 5 hits in the 5 innings that he pitched. He would strike out 6 batters on the day, and with his loss, he's 0-1. In the Yankees batting lineup, the only player to finish with more than 1 hit was their left fielder, Joey Gallo, as he went 2 for 3. On the winning end of this matchup, the Toronto Blue Jays were led out by their starting pitcher, Alek Manoah. Manoah would allow no earned runs and 1 hit in the 6 innings that he pitched. He would walk 4 batters and strike out 7. With this win, he's now 1-0. The save, however, would go to the Blue Jays closer for the day, Jordan Romano. Romano would allow no earned runs and 2 hits in the 9th inning as he struck out a batter. With this save, he now has 3 on the year. In the Blue Jays batting lineup, their center fielder, George Springer, went 3 for 5 with all 3 of the team's RBIs as he had a run for himself. He hit his 2nd home run of the season in the 3rd inning. The right fielder, Teoscar Hernandez, went 3 for 4, and then their second baseman, Santiago Espinal, went 3 for 3 with 2 runs. With this win, the Toronto Blue Jays are 3-1. They are tied with the Tampa Bay Rays for the best record in the American League East. They both sit a game ahead of the 3rd-place New York Yankees, and with this loss, the Yankees are 2-2. They sit a game behind the 2-way tie of the Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays within their division. Taking a look at what happened in Atlanta, the defending champs Atlanta Braves hosted the Washington Nationals from within their own division. The Nats would beat the Braves 11-2 after scoring 5 runs in the 3rd inning, and then they would do it again in the 8th inning as well. On the losing end of this matchup, the hometown Atlanta Braves were led out by their starting pitcher, Huascar Ynoa. Ynoa would allow 5 earned runs off of 7 hits as he pitched 3 innings. He would walk 2 batters and strike out 4, and with this loss, he's 0-1. In the Braves batting lineup, their left fielder, Marcell Ozuna, would be the only player with more than 1 hit. He went 2 for 4 with an RBI. On the winning end of this matchup, the Washington Nationals were led out by their starting pitcher, Josh Rogers. Rogers allowed 1 earned run off of 2 hits and 5.1 innings pitched. He would walk 2 batters and then strike out 3 before getting pulled in the 6th inning. With this win, Josh Rogers is 1-0 on the year. In the Nats batting lineup, their second baseman, Cesar Hernandez, went 2 for 5 with a run. Their first baseman, Josh Bell, went 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and 3 runs. Their left fielder in this matchup, Yadiel Hernandez, went 2 for 3 with a run. Their center fielder, Lane Thomas, would end up going 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a run. And then their third baseman, Michael Franco, would end up going 4 for 5 with 5 RBIs and a run. He would go on to hit his first home run of the season and his first double, as he was a triple shy of the cycle. With this win, the Washington Nationals are now 2-3, and so are the Atlanta Braves. They are tied for the third best record in the division, as they both sit a game and a half behind the division-leading Philadelphia Phillies. Taking a look at what happened into the Twin Cities in Minneapolis, the Twins would go on to host the Seattle Mariners. The Twins would go on to beat the Mariners 4-0. They would shut the Mariners out, holding them to only 2 hits all game, as 3 of their 4 runs came in the fifth of the Twins' 4 runs. On the losing end of this matchup, the shutout Seattle Mariners were led out by their starting pitcher, Chris Flexen. Chris Flexen would allow 3 earned runs off of 5 hits and 4.1 innings pitched. He would walk 3 batters and strike out 3. With this loss, Chris Flexen is 0-1 on the year. In the Mariners batting lineup, nobody on the team would pick up more than 1 hit, and that would be attributed to great pitching from the Twins. The win was given to their starting pitcher, Dylan Bundy. He allowed no earned runs off of 1 hit and 5 innings pitched. He would walk a batter and strike out 2, and with this win, he's now 1-0. In the Twins batting lineup, their center fielder, Byron Buxton, went 2 for 3 with 2 runs. Their third baseman in this matchup, Luis Arraez, went 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run. Their second baseman, Jorge Polanco, went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. With this win, the Minnesota Twins are 2-2. They are tied with the Cleveland Guardians, the Detroit Tigers, and the Kansas City Royals for the worst record in the American League Central, as all 4 of these teams sit half a game behind the division-leading Chicago White Sox. With this loss, the Seattle Mariners are 2-2. They are tied with the Oakland Athletics for the second best record in the American League West. They both sit a game behind the division-leading Houston Astros. Taking a look at what happened in Anaheim, the Los Angeles Angels would host the Miami Marlins. The Angels would beat the Marlins 6-2 after scoring 4 of their 6 runs in the first couple of innings. On the losing end of this matchup, the Miami Marlins were led out by their starting pitcher, Elieser Hernandez. He would allow 4 earned runs off of 5 hits in 4.2 innings. He would walk 3 batters and strike out 6 before getting pulled in the 5th inning. In their batting lineup, their center fielder, Jesus Sanchez, went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs, as he hit his first and second home runs of the season, resulting in both of the Marlins' runs today. On the winning end of this matchup, the hometown Los Angeles Angels were led out by their starting pitcher, Michael Lorenzen. Lorenzen would allow 1 earned run off of 2 hits and 6 innings pitched as he struck out 7. With this win, he's now 1-0 on the season. In the Angels batting lineup, their center fielder, Brandon Marsh, would end up going 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs. He would hit his first home run of the season. Their left fielder, Joe Adell, went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run, as he hit his first home run of the season as well. With this win, the Los Angeles Angels are 2-3. That is the 4th best record in the American League West. They are sitting a game and a half behind the division-leading Houston Astros. With this loss, the Miami Marlins are 1-3. That is the worst record in the National League East. At the moment, they are sitting 2 full games behind the division-leading Philadelphia Phillies. Taking a look at what happened in the Bay Area, last but not least, the San Francisco Giants would host the San Diego Padres from within their own division. After the score was tied at 2 in the 6th inning, the Padres would take the lead in the 7th off of a ground out from Manny Machado, making it 3-2, and then an RBI single from Jay Cronenworth in the top of the 9th would give the Padres a 2-run lead to win the game with. They won it 4-2. On the losing end of this matchup, the hometown San Francisco Giants were led out by their starting pitcher, Alex Wood. He would allow 2 earned runs off of 5 hits and 4.1 innings pitched. He would walk a batter and strike out 6 before he was pulled in the 5th inning. The loss for the Giants would be given to their third relief pitcher, Taylor Rogers. He allowed 1 earned run off of 2 hits, as he would go on to pitch the 7th inning of this matchup. He would strike out a batter, and with this loss, he's 0-1. In the Giants batting lineup, their first baseman, Brandon Belt, went 3 for 4. Their shortstop, Brandon Crawford, would be the only other player with more than one hit, as he went 2 for 4. On the winning end of this matchup, the San Diego Padres were led out by their starting pitcher, Nick Martinez. Martinez would allow 1 earned run off of 5 hits in 5 innings pitched. He would walk a batter and strike out 6. The win was given to the Padres' first relief pitcher, Steven Wilson. Wilson would allow 1 earned run off of 2 hits in the 6th inning with a walk and a strikeout. He would blow his first save of the year, but however, he would go on to pick up his second win. He's now 2-0 on the season. In the Padres' relief in their bullpen, their closer Taylor Rogers would pick up his 3rd save of the season. He allowed no earned runs and 1 hit in the 9th inning as he struck out 2. In the Padres batting lineup, their second baseman, Jake Cronenworth, went 2 for 5 with an RBI. And then their first baseman, Eric Hosmer, went 2 for 3 with a walk. With this win, the San Diego Padres are 4-1. That is the best record in the National League West, and they are the only team that has 4 wins so far this year. They are on a 4-game winning streak, and they are sitting 5 games ahead of the second-place Colorado Rockies within their division right now. With this loss, the San Francisco Giants are 2-2. That is the 3rd best record in the National League West. They are sitting a game and a half behind the San Diego Padres at this very moment. But that is what the MLB is looking like, as, of course, we still have a good amount of MLB going on today. Taking a look, it looks like there's only going to be one primetime game today at 6:45, as the 3-1 Philadelphia Phillies are going to host the 3-2 New York Mets. Zach Wheeler is going to make his first start for Philly, as Tyler McGill is going to make his second start for the Mets. Tyler McGill enters this matchup with a 1-0 record, as he still has yet to give up an earned run. This game will be on MLB Network, as the Phillies are holding that top spot in the National League East, and the Mets are sitting number 2. Outside of that game at 1:10, Tyler Alexander and the Detroit Tigers are going to host Rich Hill and the Boston Red Sox. At 4:10 in Great American Ballpark, Tyler Mahle and the Cincinnati Reds are going to host the Cleveland Guardians, led by their elite starting pitcher Shane Bieber, who has yet to pick up a win or a loss. As Shane Bieber enters his matchup with a 0-0 record, holding a 1.93 ERA. Tyler Mahle holding a 1-0 record. Like I said, he has yet to allow a run. At 4:10 on ESPN+, Vince Velasquez and the Chicago White Sox are going to host Matt Brash and the Seattle Mariners. At 4:12, Zach Thompson and the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to host Drew Smyly and the Chicago Cubs. At 6:40, Tommy Romero and the American East leading Tampa Bay Rays are going to host Adam Oller and the Oakland Athletics. At 7:05, the Baltimore Orioles are going to host Eric Lauer and the Milwaukee Brewers. The Orioles have not decided on their pitcher yet. At the same time, Nestor Cortez and the New York Yankees are going to host Yusei Kikuchi in the AL East leading Toronto Blue Jays. At 7:07, Patrick Sandoval and the Los Angeles Angels are going to host Jesus Luzardo and the Miami Marlins. At 7:20, the Atlanta Braves, the defending champs, are going to host Patrick Corbin in the Washington Nationals in Truist Park, as both of these teams hold a 2-3 record. At 7:40, Chris Archer and the Minnesota Twins are going to host Andrew Heaney and the Los Angeles Dodgers at Target Field. At 7:45, Dakota Hudson and the St. Louis Cardinals are going to host Daniel Lynch and the Kansas City Royals from across the state in Busch Stadium. At 8:05, Martin Perez and the Texas Rangers are going to host Chad Kuhl and the Colorado Rockies. At 9:40, Madison Bumgarner and the Arizona Diamondbacks are going to host Luis Garcia and the Houston Astros. This is Bumgarner's second start. He was not able to register a win or a loss, and he's holding a 3 flat ERA. At 9:45, Alex Cobb and the San Francisco Giants are going to host Yu Darvish and the San Diego Padres. Darvish was not able to register a win or a loss, but he still has a ERA of 0. So that is what the MLB is looking like today, as we are still in the early stages. Taking a look at what's going on in the world of soccer very quickly, looking out at yesterday's matchups. There weren't a lot of really big matchups. I would say that the biggest matchup that was really played yesterday was really like a Spanish one, as the team within this matchup that would pick up the big win was Valencia. But even looking at where Valencia is in the table, they are currently sitting 9th in Spain. Taking a look, though, at what's going on today, Today will be the first day of the second leg of the quarterfinal round of Champions League. As both of these games will be played at 3. Looking at the defending Champions League winners, Chelsea, they're going to be facing off against Real Madrid after Real Madrid took a 3-1 lead on aggregates coming in. Taking a really quick look at how they were able to get their 3-1 lead, Real Madrid would see a hat trick from Karim Benzema, but between the second and third goal, Kai Havertz would score Chelsea's lone goal to make it 3-1. And this upcoming matchup will be played in Madrid, as Madrid has a 2-goal advantage. The winner of this matchup should go on to face off against the winner between Atletico Madrid and Manchester City in the semifinal round. And then, of course, taking a look at the other game, the defending Europa League champs Villarreal are going to Munich to face off against the defending Bundesliga champs Bayern Munich. Villarreal enters this matchup with a 1-0 aggregate lead, as the last time Bayern was pretty much even after the first aggregate. They went on to destroy the other team. But looking at that first leg, the only goal in that first leg came from Arnaud Danjuma in the 8th minute. So there's a lot to look forward to with this matchup. The winner of this aggregate matchup will face off against the winner between Liverpool and Benfica in the championship semifinal, in the Champions League semifinal. And by the end of today, there should be 6 teams that are left in Champions League, as we are starting to see more and more teams get eliminated at this point, as it's been a long Champions League season from beginning to end. But that's everything that I have for you today for Tuesday, April 12th. And with that said, I want to thank everyone for listening. I do hope all is well. And once all of today's exhibitions and matchups are done, I'm going to come back tomorrow on Wednesday, April 13th. But until then, I want to thank everyone for everything. I do hope all is well. And until then, thank you for listening to my piece. I hope all is well, and I'll catch you with another piece tomorrow. Peace out.